my channel. So today I am back with another video, and this time we're gonna be talking about 10 different things that you should know about becoming a nail tech, and this is definitely for beginners, of course. So I did write out a list, that way I'm not just all over the place, so just bear with me. But some of the things that I'm going to be talking about are kind of common sense, but I feel like I still should address them. So number one would be to practice. You know, that's with anything. When you're first starting to learn just anything, whether, you know, when you were younger, riding a bike, you know, just anything, y'all, anything new that you're learning, the key is to practice. And I mean, when it comes to doing nails, the process is going to be the same. Like, you really want to focus on your foundation first before you start doing all this crazy advanced things. You want to focus on your acrylic application, and that's, you know, making sure that you're prepping the nail correctly, making sure that you're applying this the correct size tips, making sure that you're not getting any lifting, making sure that your polish application looks good. You want to focus on that first before you start going into colored acrylic, before you start going into like encapsulating things, because if the nails don't stay on, if they lift within like the next few days, like there's no point of you doing all that stuff. You know, it's gonna come right off, so it's gonna be a waste of your money. So like I said, the first one is practicing. And when I tell you guys, when I was in high school, that's really when I started doing nails, and I would practice like literally every day. You want to practice as much as you can, and I cannot stress that enough, but that's really the only way to get better. And you, like I said, that's with anything. So try to practice as much as you can. I do have the practice sheets that you can use, and that's like for like literally for beginners, to where, you know, you're able to practice your liquid to powder ratio, to know, like, you know, how much liquid, how much powder to use for a small, medium, and large bead. That helps a lot. And then also just, you know, practicing, like I said, your foundation. You just don't want to like move forward until you perfect, or, you know, you are good enough to where the nails are not popping off like that same day, y'all. Like, you just don't want that. So that was number one, is practicing. Number two is be patient. Yes, like I'm talking about practicing, and it sounds a lot easier said than done, but it's gonna require a lot of patience. Especially like when I first started doing nails, like I felt like I was good enough to start doing other people's nails, but then like I had clients whose nails were falling off, and then, you know, I was looking crazy because they're like, okay, I just paid my money, but my nail just popped off. And, you know, I had to just be like, hey, you know, you can come in, I'll fix it. And it's like, no matter what I was doing, like I was still getting lifting. So you definitely have to be very patient, because you're gonna, like with every new set that you do, you're gonna learn something new. Like, you know, you can look back and be like, okay, you know, maybe I didn't push the cuticles all the way, or maybe I didn't remove the shine from the natural nail all the way, so next time I'm gonna make sure I do that. So you just kind of have to, you know, learn as you go, but you definitely have to be very patient, because doing nails is something that you really have to like. I know there's people out there that kind of just are like, okay, such and such, you know, is doing nails and she's making good money, so let me do nails so I can make money. But it honestly has to be something that you really truly enjoy doing, because if not, it's really not going to work out. And I know that's a little bit harsh, but I mean, you really like have to, you know, be into it. Like, you have to put your all into it. Number three is products. You know, when you're first starting out, you don't want to go crazy with buying like the most expensive products, and, you know, like you just don't want to go crazy. Just get your basics. I promise you, when I first started, I bought like acrylic, I bought the monomer, the polymer, nail tips, glue, files, buffers, like literally exactly what I needed to do a full set of nails. And then the polishes that I had were like $1 a piece. Like, I literally bought them from like the hair supply store, and they had nail polishes in there. So I, like, you know, was on a budget, because for one, I was young. I was like, what, 14 or no, I was 15 years old. So I was, you know, on my parents' budget. So, you know, I had to kind of be smart about it, and I'm like, okay, this is what I'm going to start off with. And then as I get better, you know, I would buy a little bit more. And then also, you know, as I started doing nails, I would use that money to reinvest in products. You know, if you're older, it's different because you have bills, you have kids, you know, whatever the case may be. you basically have to make a living. But for me, it was different because I mean, I was literally 15 years old. I, of course, living with my parents. So it was just like, you know, I guess money for me to go shopping, money for me to go to the movies, go out with my friends, whatever the case may be. But, you know, it was a lot different. So you want to make sure that you're just not spending too much money, because also what if like you decide like, okay, look, this is not really what I want to do, like, you know, and you just end up changing your mind, and then you have all this product that you spend hundreds of dollars on, and then it's just going to waste. And you know, if you resell it, you're not going to make all of your money back. So just start small, and like I said, with the money that you make from doing your sister's nails, your cousin's nails, your friend's nails, use a little bit of that money and buy, you know, things here and there. You don't have to go out and buy the entire Valentino collection or the entire you know, just like the most expensive things. Like, you don't have to do that. There's plenty of products out there that are beginner friendly, that are really good, and that are really affordable. So really, like when it comes to polishes as well, you know, just buy the main colors that you know are really popular. Like, I literally, y'all, your main colors: black, white, red, pink, orange, you know, like just the main colors. And then as you go, then you can start buying different shades of pink, different shades of red, you know, different shades of this and that, and you know, just kind of build your products that way. But don't just go crazy and buy everything all at once, because that's how you go broke. But anyways, number four would be pricing. You know, you want to make sure that you price your sets at a price where you're making a profit. So making sure that you're able to cover your supplies, and then as well able to pocket your money, you know, for your bills or for food or whatever. Y'all, I don't even know if y'all can see Sugar and Honey over here fighting. But anyways, you want to make sure that, you know, you're pricing your sets accordingly. Like now with mine, I feel like I'm not the best person to ask for advice about pricing, because my sets are really affordable. Now the reason why I don't charge a lot, like the most I charge is maybe like not even $100, y'all. I don't even charge $100 for a set. But the reason why is because doing nails is not my main source of income. So, you know, I have YouTube, I have my online store, I have different companies that I work with, I have like my nails, of course, and just, you know, multiple incomes. So I've always also said that I wouldn't charge a price that I wouldn't pay for nails. So that's another thing as well. And then also because my clients that I have, I've been doing for so many years, like since I started doing nails, I've been doing them. So, you know, I just don't, y'all, I know they're distracting, but I just, you know, don't want to charge so much. But like I said, it's a lot different for you guys, because this might be your only source of income. So you want to make sure that, I would say, like, do your research. And that's really kind of what I did. Like, I did my research in my area to see how much, you know, the other person that's doing nails down the street is paying or charging, how much the shop is charging, how much these other nail techs are charging. You know, just kind of do your research, look up their price list, and kind of, you know, charge around the same price. You know, if you want to go a little bit higher because you're using better products, that's completely fine. But you also don't want to charge way too much to where, especially, and this is, like I said, this is for beginners. So you don't want to be charging $80 for a set that you don't know if they're gonna stay on or they're gonna come off, because you're still like practicing. So honestly, when I was first practicing nails, I was charging like $25 a set. But you know, like I actually was doing like a lot of like designs and stuff, but I was still like learning, you know. So I'm learning how to apply my acrylic, I'm learning how to do my nail art, you know. And so I kind of was like, you know, like I said, I was still learning, so I didn't want to charge an arm and a leg. And that way, you know, like people are kind of like, okay, you know, she's still learning, so if my nail come off, like I only paid $25. And if you charge somebody $40-$50, it's like, dang, like I could have paid this with Natalie and my nails would have stayed on for 3-4 weeks with no problem, you know. And most likely they're not going to want to come back to you because they feel like you would probably charge them too much for the set to come off. So you have to, you know, just think about that. Keep that in mind when you're pricing your sets. I also would not recommend, like I said, this goes back to products. Y'all, I do not recommend going super expensive on your products when you first are starting out, because you want to make sure that, you know, you're not cutting yourself short to where you're spending more on products than you're actually making. And I'm just like, the thing that keeps coming up to my mind is lifting, y'all, because I know when I was a beginner, that was like my biggest enemy was, or my worst enemy was lifting. And it honestly took me a while to like prevent lifting. But for the meantime, like I said, you know, my prices were reasonable to where people understood like, okay, she's still learning type of thing. But anyways, the next one would be taking clients. You know, when I first started, I literally was taking anybody. Hey, honey, come here. When I first started, I literally was taking in anybody that messaged me. I was taking in. And I mean, I guess like, especially with me being young, I kind of was like, you know, taking that into consideration though, because I was like working out of my house at the time as well. So, and I was young, so a lot of the time, like most of the clients that were coming to me were like my classmates' mom, my classmates' aunt, and cousins and stuff. So it was people that they knew. So I feel like that made me feel a little bit more comfortable, because word of mouth is the biggest thing. And I know I kind of just like skip a little bit and kind of am all over the place, but y'all, taking clients and word of mouth are super, super important. I know, at least for me, that's how I got a lot of my clients, because at the time, like, yeah, social media was big, but not as big as it is right now. Now, right now, you could post your pictures, you know, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever, Pinterest, not Pinterest, well, Pinterest too, but TikTok, like, you can post your work just about anywhere, and you know, would get clients. But back then, you know, it was a little bit harder, so it was mostly word of mouth. So, you know, like people, I would do my clients' nails, and then somebody at the store would be like, oh my God, I like your nails, who did them? And then they would have my business card and they would pass it out. So then I did that person's nails, and then somebody else would be like, oh my God, I love your nails, who did them? And you know, it was just like literally word of mouth. So if you do good work, people are gonna ask, and you know, that's a potential client. Hey y'all, calm down please. So, you know, that's a potential client. So you want to make sure that, you know, you always give out your business card, you know, or, you know, just anything. I mean, even if you go on Vistaprint and make you some business cards, they're super affordable on there. You can design your own. You can use one of the little templates they have on there, just as long as you have something that your clients can hand out when somebody asks them. Stop it. Stop. So that was... Alrighty, so that was taking clients. Now, alrighty, y'all. So number 5 is rebooking, and rebooking is also really, really important, because y'all, like, this is how you keep your clients on a, like, this kind of how you like get them used to like coming back. I have some clients that come every mostly like 99% of my clients come every 2 weeks. The other 1% comes like every 3 weeks. But the way that I keep them coming back is really just by rescheduling them. You know, a lot of the time when you go, like, just say you go to a nail shop, you kind of just walk in and then you go back whenever. But when you rebook them, it's like, okay, I know I got to be back in 2 weeks. You know, or I know I got to be back in 3 weeks. And you kind of get them used to it. Now, one thing that was beneficial to me when it came to like being able to rebook my clients is that a lot of my clients even from when I was young, a lot of my clients have always been the older crowd. You know, it was my classmates' moms and aunts and older cousins. You know, they were the ones that were coming to me consistently, because at the time my classmates, you know, I mean, they didn't, you know, a lot of them didn't work. They didn't have any money. So it was kind of like they only came when, you know, homecoming came around, prom time came around, you know, when something special came around. But other than that, like the moms, the aunts, the cousins, they were coming like every 2 weeks, because they're grown. They have their own car, you know, they have a job. So that's really one thing that also helped me. So I know that when it comes to like the beauty industry, we kind of can pick, like, we honestly can pick and choose who we want to do. So if you can stick to doing like the more older crowd, that is probably the best thing to do, because they're a lot more consistent, they're a lot more reliable. And when it comes to rebooking, that's really what you want to focus on. But like I said, usually like whenever I'm doing clients, as soon as I'm done, I actually like write my appointments down on an agenda, or a regular like little agenda or calendar. Just because I don't really like doing like the websites and all of that. Like I need to be able to touch and flip my pages and write it in there by myself. So that's really what I like to do. But like I said, after I'm finished with someone's set, I ask them like, hey, do you want to go ahead and reschedule? And usually I already know, like they usually don't even have to tell me, because they've been coming to me for so long that I just automatically write them down for like 2 weeks on that same like day, same time and everything. And you know, like, because like I said, they've been coming for so long. But you know, for you starting out, you could always ask them, you know, like, do you want to come back in 2 weeks? Do you want to come back in 3 weeks? And you usually, like after the first time, whenever they come back in for their second appointment, you would know like, oh, okay, you know, like your nails still look good. You probably could have went another week. And then it's up to your client to decide like, oh, I'll keep doing 2 weeks, or I'll keep, you know, do 3 weeks. Whatever they decide to do is completely fine. But you want to make sure that you always remind yourself to ask if they want to go ahead and rebook. That is really, really important. Sugar, stop. So number 6 is gonna be your health. You know, when you start taking appointments, especially like when you're doing a lot of clients in one day, you want to make sure that in between clients, you get up, you drink some water, eat some food, stretch, you know, whatever it is, because you are going to experience back pain from sitting there all day. I've experienced that for a while now, and right now I've actually had to go to the chiropractor. I've even been to the doctor because my back pain was so bad that I literally would cry. I would have my mom massage my back, my boyfriend massage my back, because it was just hurting so bad. So I ended up getting a membership with a chiropractor, and I get to go 4 times a month. 4 times a month for $69, and which is not bad at all. And you know, you just want to make sure that you take care of yourself, because if not, y'all, we gonna be walking with a little humpback from, you know, just doing nails. And also you want to make sure that when you're doing it, I feel like I remember back then I didn't catch myself at the time, but I would kind of like, you know, be looking down a lot to where my back was not straight. So now when I'm doing nails, like even if I have to sit on the very edge of my stool, but I have to make sure that my back is straight, you know, like really straight. That way I'm not hurting my back. But even then, you know, it still hurts from just sitting for a long amount of time. Another thing is your wrist hurting. Usually when I'm filing nails a lot, especially like the extra long nails, I have to stop and kind of stretch my fingers out, because it does like hurt my wrist and it kind of locks up a little bit. So if you start experiencing pain, like I said, you know, just stop for a few seconds, you know, kind of move your wrist around, stretch your legs, you know, pop your back, whatever you need to do, but make sure that you take care of yourself, because you don't want to be hurting by the time you're like 5 months to a year into your nail career. Like you just don't want to experience this. So make sure that you take care of yourself. Number 7 is like, of course, once you've been doing nails, you know, you want to make sure that you are keeping up with the trends. You know, it's so many new things that come out, like literally every day we see something new for nails, you know, whether it's a different nail polish or a different like poly gel, or the, what is it called? The I don't know, those nails that you they look like press-ons, but you put them on with gel. I forgot what they're called, but you know, whether it's that, like you just want to keep up with the trends, with the new colors, new like nail stickers, whatever. You just want to keep up. That way you're up to date. That way you're giving your clients the newest things out there, because you will have clients that ask you for those things. So you want to make sure that you have them. That way, you know, like your clients like, oh, like she don't have none of the new stuff, like, so I'm gonna go to, you know, to such and such, because I've seen that she got everything. So you want to make sure that, you know, you keep your clients happy. Of course, you're not going to always make everybody happy, but you want to make sure that you try to do as much as you can to keep up with all the new trends. And I know sometimes it's hard, but you just have to do whatever you can, you know, to kind of accommodate your clients. Another thing is number 8 is policy. You want to make sure, like, even though you're a small business, even though you're just now starting out, you want to make sure that you set some sort of policy, whether it's a cancellation fee, a late fee, rescheduling, whatever you do, make sure that you have some sort of policy. Because, I know a lot of the time people just get comfortable, like they get comfortable and they feel like they can ask to come in at 11 p.m., 5 in the morning or whatever. So you want to make sure that you set your schedule. You tell yourself, okay, so I'm gonna work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, be off Thursday, work Friday, Saturday, and I'm gonna work from this time to this time, and that's it. Like you really have to do that, because if not, people will take advantage. Now, if you really need the money, then do whatever you need to do to go out of your way to make your money, like I said, whatever you need to do. But you really, have to just set a schedule for yourself, because I know for a while I was like doing everything that I could to go out of my way, whether it was doing nails at 5 in the morning, whether it was doing nails until 12 a.m., like whatever it was, I was just doing a lot and I was overworking myself. And that's why now I have back problems. That's why now my wrist be hurting, because I didn't have that but I just didn't have like any policies set. Same thing, like people were coming in late, people would show up 30 minutes late, they would just cancel, they just wouldn't show up. So then that's when I had to kind of set my foot down and say, okay, look, if you're late if you're late, it's a $10, I think 10 or 5, I don't know, y'all, but it's a fee, and then after 30 minutes or 15 minutes, I think, I forgot, but it's on my little price list. But you literally just have to make your own policy. You could copy somebody else's, that's completely fine. But you just have to like set your schedule, set your hours, set, your rules basically on how you want your business to run, because if not, people will take advantage. So that was number 8. Number 9 is protecting your energy. And I never really thought about this, y'all, but I don't know if you guys ever watched the video about how I talked about like me having really bad anxiety, and it just like kind of started out of nowhere, like it was just super bad. So after that happened, like I just really started to protect my energy, basically trying to avoid from getting any more anxiety, because it was just the most horrible thing in the entire world. Like I had never experienced anything like that. So if you ever feel like you have those clients that are always like super picky, they always give you a hard time, they're always canceling, they cancel and then reschedule and then not show up, you have the right. You are your own boss. You are your own boss. You run your business, so you are entitled to take whoever you want, and you're also, you have the right to what is that word I'm trying to use? You have the right to reject services to anyone that you would like. Like I said, whether you feel like just the energy is not right, they always have an attitude, they always give you a hard time. Like there are ways to basically fire your clients. You could always just say, hey, I don't know, like you're always late, you come in late, if it was somebody else shop, like they would have been told you couldn't come no more. Or, just say, and this really comes into your policy as well. Just saying like after you miss 3 appointments, like you gotta go. Or, if you are, I don't know, y'all, but there's ways that you can fire your clients, and that is completely fine. Don't ever feel like you have to keep these clients because they're making you money. Like there are plenty of other people that are out there looking for nail techs, so don't ever feel like you have to keep people around. As you guys know, here recently with my anxiety and everything, I did have to cut down to doing nails from full-time to part-time. So I cut down my clients to 50%, so I'm only doing 50% of the clients that I had a few months ago. And honestly, it was the best decision for me health-wise, and it was really just for health reasons, because of my back, because of my wrist, and especially because of my anxiety. So that is something that you could always do as well. If you feel like you're getting really overwhelmed, you're overworking yourself, you are welcome to you know, do whatever you need to do to protect your energy, whether it's mentally, physically, whatever it is. Okay, y'all, so I don't know what happened to my list, but when I edit this video, I'll know, like, I'll number them for sure. But I think the last one definitely has to be social media, because I think a lot of people underestimate how powerful social media is right now in 2020. It's been powerful before, but right now, y'all, like right now, social media can literally make or break your business. You know, like it can help because it can help you gain clientele. So, you know, you want to make sure that after you do every set that you take a picture, post it on Instagram. You know, use your hashtags. And when you use your hashtags, don't just do like nails, hashtag nail ideas, hashtag pink nails, you know, because that is just so broad. You want to make sure that you kind of use better hashtags. Like for me, I'm in Little Rock, Arkansas, so I would say like hashtag Little Rock Nail Tech, hashtag Little Rock Nails, hashtag Little Rock Arkansas, hashtag Little Rock Cosmetologist, you know, things like that, because that's gonna help you narrow it down to the people in your area. Hey, so if you were to just do like hashtag nails, you know, there might be 1 million, 2 million, like 30 million hashtags with that, you know, people looking for that hashtag. So, I mean, it just doesn't help to have followers from like, you know, all over the world when it comes down to you wanting to build a clientele. Yes, it helps with, you know, like you getting likes, you getting exposure, but building clientele, you need people in your area. So make sure that you use those hashtags for your area. Another thing would definitely be making sure that, you know, you, what am I trying to say? Like, you know, it comes in with social media being able to break your business. And the reason why I say that is because you guys know that whenever something happens, when somebody is unsatisfied with a service, the first thing that they do is go on social media. You know, all they have to do is type up a nice little paragraph and it will ruin your reputation as a nail tech. You know, you're going to lose clients, whatever the case may be, and you just don't want that. So that really goes back to where I said about protecting your energy. If you feel like you have those clients that are always complaining about something, they're never happy, they're more likely to be those clients that go on social media and, you know, say something about you. Fortunately, I've never had that happen, but you know, it's really common. I see it on social media all the time. So you just want to make sure that you kind of know who you're dealing with. That way you don't put yourself in that situation. But most definitely, again, social media, be sure that if you don't have Facebook, Instagram, or excuse me, but if you don't have Facebook, Instagram, which are or Twitter, you know, those are the most common ones right now, I would definitely say to make you an account and post as much as you can to help with gaining more clientele. But I think that's pretty much it. I named everything in my list, and now that I'm looking at my list, I think I ended up doing 11. I don't know, y'all, but I did my list on my phone and I think the numbers were messed up. I don't know what happened, but I'll be sure to like fix it whenever I edit, and I like put each like practice, be patient, products, all of that, and number it as I go. But anyways, I hope this video was helpful. I know a lot of people have been requesting it. A lot of people have been asking in my DMs, but I just get so many messages that it's so hard to keep up. So I just had to go ahead and make this video. But as always, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure that you hit the little bell. That way you are notified every time that I post. And you guys know YouTube here lately has been acting a little bit weird. So I think a lot of people have been like saying that they don't get the notification. So just check and make sure that you hit the little bell. Like I said, that way you don't miss any videos. But as always, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys next time.